very committed decision that I, in fact, was not going to be a nun. I was going to marry Ringo. So I love the week between Christmas and New Year. I think it's a time to go within, to get kind of quiet, to everybody's out of town, not much is happening, and it just seems to be the perfect time to go within and see what I want to leave behind in the old year and give some thought to the coming year. Though I don't like the question, what do you want? Because I never know what I want. It's always changing. So this year I'm going to ask the question, what makes me happy? So I wanted to talk today a little bit about what I'm going to do to kind of solidify the letting go. Because there's so many ways of letting go of what doesn't work. Journaling, rage on the page, burning that, shredding it, talking it out, therapy. But I've come up with some rather interesting ideas, and maybe they'll spark some ideas for you too. But I wanted to tell a couple stories that led me to this decision. And the first one is about this past summer. It was August, and I got an email from Groupon, a Groupon that I had bought to see Mies van der Rohe house out in Plano, Illinois, that is now a museum, that was going to expire that week. And I thought, oh, I promised myself I'd go, and I really want to go. So I went on the internet and I saw they have a tour at 1 and at 3. And I thought, well, I'm not going to make the 1 o'clock. So I went online, I went on their website, and I tried to put in my Groupon number to reserve a spot for the 3 o'clock tour, and it wasn't taking it. And you guys, I'm a little impatient with technology. If it's not working, I'm not gonna, that's time I'm never getting back. I know that. So I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna get in the car, I'm gonna take some action, and I'm gonna drive to Plano, which is not the end of the world, but you can see it from there. I mean, it is a schlep, pack a lunch, okay? So I've got Siri telling me where to go, and I live in Evanston, which I like to call Heavenston. And so there's really no direct route out, but so I get in the car, and I'm ready, and I'm going, and I'm keeping a promise to myself, and I hit 294, and it is traffic like I have never seen. And it's 12:30. And it's like China on 294. It's bumper to bumper. And I look at my phone, and the arrival time is getting later and later. And there's also there's lots of red, like, girlfriend, you are gonna be in the car for a while. So there's always that moment where you're like, should I just turn back? Because my inner quitter, you guys, my inner quitter is always ready to turn back. She's always first to pipe up, forget, what's the, And I thought, no, I really want to see it, So I thought, let's keep on the path. So I did. I got there late. I got there about 3:20, and I walked into, you can't see the Farnsworth house, but you have to go through this beautiful building, to get to it. And so I walk in the building, and there's no one there. And finally, somebody comes down the hall, and I say, hi, I'm so sorry I'm late. I have a Groupon, and I kind of go into my spiel. And she says, well, you don't have a reservation for the 3:30 tour. There isn't a 3:30 tour. I said, yeah, I know. But instantly, shame, like it just flooded up. My ears got hot, and my eyes welled up. And I thought, whoa, okay. But oh, none of that registered, you know. Oh yeah, silly me. But there was that instant where it was like, I should have known. I should have controlled the traffic. I should have, yeah, that whole global warming thing, yeah, that's me too. I said, I understand. I don't suppose there'd be any way that I could see the, oh, no. And besides, that tour is almost finished. And I thought, really? Okay. And then I thought, oh, she has a story of her past, maybe, and I have a story that I carry with me for times just like this, you know. Oh, that fits nicely into my little shame piece there. Oh yeah, I get that. Okay, so you'll play your part, and here I'll hand you the script of Sister Mary so-and-so, and you'll be playing the part of Sister Mary, and I'll play me, and if you go up on any of your lines, I will cue you. I know them all. And so she said, well, I suppose if you come back, we could give you, you know, a discount on your ticket. And I said, okay. I couldn't get out of there fast enough, you know. I was like, I have to get out of here because I'm going to cry. And so I got outside and I started to cry, and then I got in the car and just sat in the quiet for a minute and heard, Meg, this isn't about missing the tour. What's going on? And I thought, I don't know. Oh, and she had said, there is a bench at the Forest Preserve that you can see the house from across the lake. And here's some deprivation casserole. Like, wah, wah. But don't you know I looked for the bench because, and I got angry and sad, which I am now calling sangry, because anger is often sad's bodyguard, you know. So I let myself, you know, after I got angry, and I was angry with myself, you know, and I was a little angry with her, you know. Come on. Will any small children be harmed if I just kind of take a peek at the... but she had a job to do, and I wasn't pulling a fast one, trying to pull a fast one. So I drove home, and a couple days later, a story came up, a memory came up, that was pretty traumatic, that I thought I had processed, but no, it was still in there, activated. And it's this. When I was in the 2nd grade, I was a pretty nervous kid. My father, I'm the 7th of 9 kids, and my parents kind of had 2 families. They had my older brothers, and then 17 years, no pregnancies. And then there was an operation, and then 6 more kids, bing, bang, boom. And I'm in that group. So my father had had a heart attack, and my mother was pretty consumed with taking care of my father, and we were pretty, you know, busy being quiet. And my teacher, my 2nd grade teacher, Mrs. Manzak, got sick and left in the middle of the year, and we had a substitute teacher who, when she walked into the class and was introduced as Mrs. Hennigan, to me, she was Aunt Mary Hennigan. Now, Crystal Lake was a small town, you know, when I was growing up there, and it was lovely, and everybody knew everybody. That was part of the charm. Except when you're a teenager, you don't want that. You want anything but that. So, Aunt Mary Hennigan walked in as a substitute teacher, and Aunt Mary Hennigan was the woman responsible for naming me Megan, which was not a really popular name in 1950. And so I was kind of charmed by this, but I have no idea how she got the gig. All I remember learning was wonderful Irish fairy tales, which have served me beautifully in my life, but I didn't get any of the math or any of the other stuff that 2nd graders learn, but I loved the fairy tales. And she would come back from lunch, maybe with her sunglasses on and her nose a little pink, and tell these great stories. Toward the end of the year, there was some talk that Mary, and the nuns wouldn't call me Megan because it wasn't a saint's name. Mary is not doing well in school. And that's kind of all I heard about it. Next year comes, I'm back at St. Thomas the Apostle in my uniform and beanie, and I'm directed to a different classroom where I don't recognize any of the other students. And the bell rings for recess. Yay! So I find my friend Lori, we run around a little bit, talk, then the bell rings to go back in, and I get in line with the third graders with my friend Lori. When Sister Mary Lorraine walks over to me and says, go stand with the second graders. And that's how I got sent back to second grade. That's that peace. Oh, I should have known, I didn't know, why? Well, just me and Bobby Martin went back, why? That wasn't explained, and I get it. That's not how it went back in the day. So that was going to be the little soul tattoo that got etched on my heart. That is going to inform a lot of my life, unbeknownst to me, that I tried to get into the third grade a lot in my life. Yeah, I know. I don't know. That is a lovely thing to know, that I don't know now. But now I'm at an age where I can know that. So, in this story, I see where she may not have been shaming, but it was all I could hear, because everyone in authority would have kind of Sister Mary Lorraine's face, right? Oh, I'm in trouble. When I find unity, and I had first discovered unity, of course, through the Daily Word. I went to my first unity service in 1979. Around the same time, I found the 12 Steps of Recovery. And I loved it. I loved all the talk of healing and abundance and affirmation and affirmative prayer, and that you could manifest things like that. Whee! Okay. But there was still a little Catholic in me. And I was living in New York in the 80s, and I recommend bottoming out in New York City, because it can really happen fast. Well, you go down hard and fast, man. And I thought, maybe my life's falling apart because I'm not going to Mass. So I went to Mass, and it was all about divorced Catholics, which I was, how they're going to the hot place, and I'm like, And so I moved back to Chicago, and I'm getting my life together a day at a time. And I think, I'll go to Mass one more time. I'll give it one more shot. So I go to Mass, and sure enough, same thing. No, divorced Catholics, and they're going to hell in a handbasket, and Unity doesn't even believe in hell. So I thought, I don't want to come here anymore. It was my first theater experience, Mass. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and I loved the beauty of it and the mystery, and that all changed. So I went back to this church a few days later, when it was empty. I love empty Catholic churches. And there was a Mary chapel. Now, Mary and I, she's my pal. She's my gal. And I walked in, and I sat down and I said, "Hi, it's me." And I said, I love you and I'm wild about your kid, but I can't keep coming here because I don't feel good when I do. I just feel so much shame and I'm so sad but I found this place, Unity. And I found these rooms of, nodding heads where people understand me because I feel like I lived a life of speaking Chinese to Polish people. And I heard a voice that was not my own say, "Go and be where you can give and receive the most love." And my heart sat down. It was like, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense. So I was a Unity Truth student and have been from that moment on. And it has just opened my life beautifully. But it is not easy. It's not easy to take responsibility for my thoughts. And in early Unity, I think everybody does this. I was breathing down my own neck of my thinking. I don't want to think that. I don't want to manifest that. I call that metaphysical malpractice. Like, okay, take a breath. Everything, you cannot stop first thought. It's going to come in. I can't prevent the birds from flying over my head, but I can prevent them from making a nest in my hair. I can decide to not hold on to that thought that causes me pain or shame or grief. So I thought, it doesn't work anymore, shame. It did, and believe me, it was a convenient little thing to pull out when I needed to kind of be a victim, or I didn't want to do something, or because there's a big difference. It's a big difference, but a very thin line for me between sadness, grief, and self-pity. It's just, I got to be very careful that I don't get into my story and feel sorry for myself, because then I'm dead in the water. But if I honor grief, that's good. Don't hang on to it. And anger is fuel for me. I say, hang on as long as you need to. Let go as soon as you can. Feel the feelings, which I'm not great at. I gotta tell you, I'm not great at feeling my feelings. They still intimidate me. But feel my feelings and then let it go. Don't hold on too tightly. So this is what I'm gonna do for letting go. I'm going to have a funeral for shame. I'm going to have a funeral for shame and fear. My friend Janie reminded me last service. She said she's going to have a funeral for fear. Now, no, not intuitive fear. Not the fear that says, step off this elevator. I remember being on an elevator in a parking garage, and this fellow got on. He didn't seem threatening, but when he reached across me to push the button, I got such a vibe in my solar plexus that I was literally pulled out of the elevator. That kind of intuition, that kind of feeling, yeah, you don't want to get rid of that. That's really cool. That's really good. Bless him, thank you. Don't know what that was about, but it's really good to follow that intuition and that instinct. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a funeral, because I told you I'm Catholic and we love ritual. Ritual is what I grew up with. First, I'm going to pick out some sad music. Danny Boy, always good. The Irish are only happy when they're sad. I love sad songs. Or there's a classical piece by Samuel Barber called Adagio for Strings. It's the Passion Play. It is so beautiful. It always makes me tear up. Then I'm going to rent a sad movie. There's one called A Tree Grows in Brooklyn. I love it. Also, if you're getting a cold, watch a sad movie, because a cold is often trapped tears. Yeah, if you have a cold, cry, have a good cry. Because oftentimes a cold is, and I learned this here, guys. I learned all this metaphysical, beautiful way of looking at things. A cold can sometimes be the need to cry 24/7. Just to cry and cry and cry. And then be done with crying for a while. But crying, good. So I'll rent a sad movie, or I really love the movie I'll Cry Tomorrow, speaking of crying. It's a Ruth Eddings story. It's intense. Then I will journal a little bit and write a thank you letter, thanking my shame and thanking fear for always being dependable. I could always depend on fear to take me out of the game and to make me small and to make me keep me controlled and small and tight, you know, because it takes a lot of courage to take in the abundance. I was running errands the other day, and a Mercedes passed me, beautiful, I love cars, and a beautiful Mercedes passed me, and the license plate read, "Take it in." Oh! I wanted to follow them. Thank you, and marry me. So I'll write a thank you letter and a love letter to shame, fear, guilt, and thank it for giving me the illusion of safety, or reminding me, oh, that's right, everybody has this going on. Everybody has that little piece in them that is shame-filled. Everybody's healing a broken heart, you know. We're all angels with one wing, as the song says. Then I'm going to get some stones, medium-sized stones, and take my Sharpie and write shame on one, fear on another, resentment. I call these binkies, you guys. Resentment. And then when it, you know, when it doesn't give me what it used to give me, like that hit of, I feel better, you know, it doesn't get my adrenaline up, oh, that's a bad day. When my stuff doesn't work, when my story doesn't, when my wand is broken, you know, oh, then I know, I gotta let this go. It's not serving me, it's not, you know, it never served me maybe, but it gave me the illusion, and it kept me small. So I'll take those stones and I'll go down. Now, you guys, this is going to take time. So if you do this, give yourself a day. You know, give yourself a day to mourn, to grieve, to let go. So I'll go to Lake Michigan and I'm going to throw the stones in, but I will notice where I am in case I want to go back to the gravesite. You know, and just, you know, oh, I miss you, and oh, I wish you were here to keep me out of the game, and you know, that will work. And then I will take myself for a nice luncheon and maybe have a casserole or some sandwiches with the crusts cut off, and you know, what I call as church lady food, and let go, because it's time. Like I said, if it's not working, what could be the harm in letting it go, thanking it, maybe even blessing it, forgiving myself, forgiving all those, you know, forgiving all the nuns. What the heck? I've got a cousin who's really a wonderful, and she was the head of the order. You know, she's brilliant. And I love the nuns that I go see when I visit my cousin. Again, it's not, the world is not as it seems. The world is as I am. If I'm looking, it's always through this filter. Do I want it to be through the filter of love and acceptance, or do I want to keep those glasses of shame and unforgiveness? No. And I would recommend getting prayer around it, not doing it alone. Maybe going to the lake with a friend who would understand. But we don't have to do these things alone anymore. We can take in the abundance. And it takes a lot of courage. So I would like to close with a prayer treatment because I'll be speaking next week and as well. I know, more Megan than you ever thought possible. I understand. But it's such an honor to be here. Thank you. So this will be a prayer treatment for this the next couple days and the next week of letting go of what no longer works, knowing that it's okay to let it go. You can always go back and visit it, but it has to go. So right here, right now, we know that there's one power and one presence in the universe and in our lives, God the good, omnipotent. There's God and only God. That we are one with this one that goes by many names. For it lives, moves, and has its being in, as, and through us. So from this place of oneness, I speak a word of healing treatment for everyone here. Knowing that every cell and atom of your body is filled with the healing love and light of God. That your mind is in divine order. That your thinking is clear and divinely directed. That you know what to do and when to do it. That good and more good comes to you now, and you are allowing it in. It presses itself against you, flows through you, and multiplies around you. As you share this good, as you envelop this good, as you live this abundance. Health, well-being, peace of mind, acceptance of the good that God has for all of us. This is the truth. This is the truth of you. And I deny any false belief contrary to the words I've spoken. All that remains is this truth. You are loved. You are healed. You are whole. I release this treatment into the action of the law that only and always says, yes, 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 I thought you'd never ask. This healing is already done in the mind of God. So be it, and so it is. Amen. So as we prepare for meditation, I want to encourage you to maybe clear your lap or your hands of anything you might be holding. And I also want to suggest raising your shoulders to your earlobes. Maybe one more time. Taking in a breath and letting it out with a And one more time. I breathe in and out. I breathe out and let go. And I know in my heart that's the right place to start. I breathe, just breathe. I breathe in all good, life, light, wisdom, stress or concern. And I just remain in the presence of the one power, love. I breathe in to be. I breathe out and see what is true, right and real. I'm alive, I am healed. I breathe, just breathe. There's no need to worry or be concerned, for all there is right now, and all is well. No need to worry if I'm in the flow. Here in this moment I let go. Each blade of grass has an angel leaning over, whispering, grow, 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 and breathe. Just breathe. Take in our breath, the very breath of life, the abundance, the beauty. We can take it in. We take this breath to the silence, knowing all is well. That's the right place to start. I breathe, just breathe. So as we come back into the room, into the seat that supports us, air we breathe, grateful for this pause to breathe. Just breathe.